Hey, thank y'all for tuning in to another dope episode of Escaping the Odds, man. I got a dope brother here with me. Once again, man, you know I keep some good people coming on, giving out some good information. Good brother with me, J Mac from
What's going on? What's going on?
Yep. From Couture World.
We World Couture.
We World Couture.
It's a travel vlog, man. You know, yeah, We World Couture. WERELDKULTUUR. It's all together, no spaces.
So how did you come up with that name first and foremost?
So yeah, it's a travel vlog. So like basically, I've been traveling since I was like 13, 14. Like that was my first real experience traveling and all that, going on planes and experiencing different places within the states. So I always knew that I wanted to do something like with traveling, you know what I'm saying, associated with trying to make it and trying to, you know, brand and all that, but I just didn't know how. So like last year, I was like, man, I want to start doing a travel vlog. So what I did, I basically just started doing research or whatever. I still wanted to connect it to us somehow, some way, like black people. So I basically just, you know what I'm saying, went into like, some drew me to the Afrikaans peoples or whatever, like the people that the Dutch colonized.
That's South Africa, right?
Yeah, so South Africa, but not only South Africa. You got the West. They colonized some places in the West Indies, and they colonized some places some places I believe in South America as well. So the Dutch was just like the French and the Spanish and the British and everything else. So like the Dutch was a staple too. Like they say the Dutch was, you know what I'm saying, even though the Willie Lynch letter is like, you feel me, hearsay or whatever, but some people say like or believe that they were the ones that came up with that whole notion, like, you know what I'm saying, black people were slaves, drop them Indians, you know what I'm saying, only let the black people be slaves, stop letting white people be indentured servants and all that, and creating that caste system and all that. A lot of people believe that the Dutch was responsible for that. Okay. But and some historians also believe that they was like some of the cruelest when it came to slavery. So like the people that they captured, I was just captivated how they stripped the slaves of all of their culture and their language, but we were still able to prevail and come up with our own language, which is Afrikaans. Since Afrikaans is basically a dialect of Dutch on top of our language, and we fused the two together. So I was like, whatever the name is, I feel like it got to be Afrikaans because it's us. You know what I'm saying? It's something that we created on top of slavery, on top of being decapitated of our own land, our culture, everything. So I was like, man, that's dope, that's powerful. So like I was like, some simple, but like let's not make it simple. So world culture is simple, you know what I'm saying, in English in plain terms, but when you break it down and you put Afrikaans on top of that, we world culture, I was like, man, that's dope. It's a ring, you know what I'm saying, it keep the tongue going, you know. So I'm like, man, I want to name it that. So that's how it been. So ever since last year, stuck with the name, created the vlog, got merch coming soon. So been on and popping ever since.
So you a walking history book, man.
Yeah. So you know, I got my little degree in history, man, from Chicago State. Graduated in 2018. So
well, before that though, right? You also had a run in with criminal justice system.
Yeah.
How did that come about? That whole situation.
My first real situation was when I was like 18. I was in high school, senior year in high school. I'm talking about weeks before prom. Got into it with some niggas in the school, you know what I'm saying? Basically, long story short, they tried to say them guys from my hood robbed them, you know what I'm saying? So we took offense to that because they basically saying like they gonna shoot up the hood or whatever. So we end up getting into it with the guys and all that. And reluctantly, I live right across the street from the school, you know what I'm saying? So everybody know where I live at the school, you know what I'm saying? Even the dudes that we get into it with. So he bring his mama around my crib, and basically, long story short, police was being called, you know what I'm saying? We fight, tussle and all that. Police is being called. They tell the police I'm the shorty that robbed them with you know what I'm saying, with a gun. So, you know what I'm saying, they had the police report, you know what I'm saying, everything in order. So they booked me instantly. So basically, like his story wasn't adding up when they kept asking him, like, you know what I'm saying, he kept switching up his story. Mine stayed consistent. So I was in that party for like 2 days and in the jailhouse for like 2 days. I ain't go to the county. I was only in the, you know what I'm saying, at the department for like 2 days though. They just kept questioning me. They questioned me over like 100 times. So I stayed consistent with the story, and they eventually let me go.
So with the whole case, it eventually had ended up getting squashed out.
Yeah, that got dismissed. You know what I'm saying? Right then, years later, what was that called? An unlawful use of a weapon. bought a gun legally. Had a FOIA card, but didn't have my conceal and carry.
Okay.
Right, didn't have my conceal and carry, so ended up doing a day in the county, and that then bonded out. Had to find a dope lawyer, and ended up beating that in the motion. So, man, by the grace of God.
So how, like, far as you had to find a good lawyer, right? So how did that whole thing? I know the ending, what happened, but take us through that whole experience, like, of actually being in the system again.
With getting a lawyer, or
no, just like that whole experience, like you didn't know what was gonna happen with
oh, right, hell no, yeah, like that whole, it's a big question mark, you know what I'm saying, like going through being processed, you know what I'm saying, going to that bond hearing or whatever, and you know what I'm saying, it's just like, it's surreal. And then just like hearing that judge just throwing out numbers like it's candy, that shit fucked up. Like that shit that fuck your head up right then and there. Like for your first time going through that experience though, like, you know what I'm saying, you hearing the judge just say, oh, gun case, oh, okay, yeah, 50,000. You know what I'm saying? Damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who, you don't know nothing about me. You know I ain't got no prior offenses. Like, it's just like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That fucked me up. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that I had to talk
they gave you a high bond. So
Yeah,
50,000, that pretty much meant you needed
5,000 to get out. Exactly.
Okay. Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? Me going back and forth with my OG, going back and forth with my family and all that, trying to get the money up. You know what I'm saying? Within that first 24 hours shit, that shit was tough. Like, and by the graces of God, like, you know what I'm saying, I had a couple of months. I'm only 22, 23 at the time. Like, I ain't really had no money like that. You know what I'm saying? I had just got a job. You feel me? Had to go to work the next day. Shit, you know what I'm saying? I only, like, you know what I'm saying, I ain't even call off that day. Shit, like, I'm shocked they ain't even fired me, but
right.
It's a lot going on. It was a lot going on. And like I said, by the great, it's only God I can see why, you know what I'm saying, I was able to get out and all that. Like, if I really was to go deep into it, like, it was a lot of miracles that was going on that day. So, you know what I'm saying, that was one of them revelations right there to let me know, like, God is real though, for real.
So with that situation, that was part of your turning point. You was like, I've always been traveling anyway since I was a youth. Like, I want to do a little bit more with this and actually make a business.
No, that wasn't even a turning point. That was like me being on some, like, I need to finish school, because this, like, 2014, 2015, I'm like, I need to finish school, do what I came here to do. Like, you know what I'm saying, I feel like I need to be a teacher. You know what I'm saying, I'm in the teaching and recreation and all that. I work for the school and I work at the park or whatever. So, but at the time I wasn't even working at the school, but I'm like, I need to put what I really want to do, put that head first, stop playing around, stop trying to party all the time, be with the guys, telling my little 9 that I just bought, you feel me, with a FOIA card and all that, trying to play fake tough, you know what I'm saying, trying to, you know what I'm saying, being and hanging in crowds, intermingling crowds I ain't supposed to be intermingling with, you know what I'm saying, because you get caught in that life, you know what I'm saying, but
and 2 minutes of that, or 2 seconds of that,
it costs you your life. Exactly, because I met a lot of guys in there, like, just the story, just like me, not really into that life like that, you know what I'm saying. Know a couple of guys is a part of that life, but like, you not really a part of the life, but you know what I'm saying, it might be you, like, you ain't got money to bond out, so now you got to sit down, you know what I'm saying,
right.
You know what I'm saying, for 6 months to a year.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So
trying to fight a case.
let's get more into the vlog and talk about, like, how pretty much, like, your first trip and a lot of things you got going on with it, as it relates to where you want to see the brand grow to. And also an interesting point, and we talked about this before, people with backgrounds of felony conviction, it's some places in this world where we're not allowed to go.
Right.
And so I want to touch on that, but first let's talk about the whole vlogging thing, like with the YouTube channel and things of that nature, and how that's coming for you, and where you see the company going, the brand going. Yeah.
So, like, I started the YouTube channel like a year ago. I want to say like last year April. And the first video I posted on there was my trip to El Salvador. And that was like one of the best experiences I had. So yeah, I just posted that, and like I saw the numbers was going up or whatever. So I was like, yeah, that intrigued me. But like one day, I basically want to monetize the YouTube channel one day. So I know you need like 1,000 subscribers to monetize, and so many hours of viewership to monetize your YouTube account. So that's one of my first short-term goals. And then a long-term goal, long-term game, basically I want to network with other networks and try to get like a contract. So like what really put me in position, or gave me the vision for this, was a guy by the name of Anthony Bourdain. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but basically white dude, white chef or whatever.
Cooking
Yeah,
channel, pretty much. Right?
yeah, he was a white chef or whatever. But he first he was on Travel Channel, but he just went around the world and studied people culture, studied people you know what I'm saying, how they living and all that, the politics and all that. And first he was on Travel Channel, but then they picked him up on CNN. Mm-hmm. And when they said how much he was getting paid for what he was doing, and he had all the creative rights, I'm like, that man getting $20 million for this, you know what I'm saying? Travel free, you know what I'm saying? Live wherever he stay wherever he want to stay, and just to talk shit with other people from other countries. Oh, that's what I want to do. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be the black version of that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So that's what basically inspired me to do what I'm doing now.
So what are some of your experiences you had in El Salvador that you could share that was kind of what you probably didn't expect? That
black people, bro.
Really? Okay.
Black people, bro. Black people, like. I knew like it was like probably a speck of us, but I ain't know it's a whole Caribbean side, like they call it the Caribbean side or whatever, on the Pacific side, because like when you go to Costa Rica, it's like it's a Atlantic side and it's a Pacific side. Caribbean side I believe is on the Pacific side, but basically all throughout, like how, you know what I'm saying, how they look, like they look darker, you know what I'm saying. A lot of people are darker, you know what I'm saying. Like I'm expecting a lot of them that look like Mexican or whatever, you know what I'm saying. But no, a lot of them was darker. And then the food was like not like, I'm not gonna say like it's like all the way better, but Costa Rica was one of the places where like the food was, everything was fresh, bro. Like, cause they don't have what we have. Like they don't do processed foods. Everything that they do is prepped. And like the animals is killed that morning. Right. The fruit is picked that morning. You know what I'm saying? So they don't do no pesticides and all that. What we do, and that stuff is made and prepped that morning. They wake up 3-4 in the morning just to do that and give it to the people. So
what about what about cost of living as well? Because as you know, the podcast, we try to focus as well like on the entrepreneurial side and get into the nitty gritty of the numbers of things. So far as with the cost of living there, like I've heard
cheap.
Some place you can actually go and you can live on a fourth of what you may pay in the United States and live and with better amenities and that whole nine.
Yeah, it is that, like, and actually the my principal, actually I kind of inspired her. I would say I would take that credit because I told her about it. And her husband actually went out there, man. They found a plot of land. They bought a plot of land and getting it built for $25,000 US.
Wow.
So like they getting like a 2-bedroom like house on the Caribbean side. It's called Yaco Beach. Okay. JACO Yaco Beach on the Pacific side. It's like a Caribbean area, and they found land. They invested in it and everything. Got the people or whatever, the contractors to build it, and it was only $25,000 US. Wow. So I don't know how much that is when you equate it to their dollar, but yeah, like the US, and that's the whole thing about what I'm trying to do too. Like I'm trying to teach people, like America ain't been shit to black people, but black people, we can use that to like, you know what I'm saying, what I'm looking advantage. For, to our advantage. Exactly. Right. We can use that to our advantage. Us being from this country and using this dollar as equity in other places, bro. Like for real, Jamaica, Costa Rica.
Like what are some of the things you can see that a person can do with our US dollar over there that could be advantageous to them?
Man, my whole thing always has been real estate.
Okay.
Real estate. Like, man, because the thing is, and what a lot of people don't know, what they try not to teach us is, like, I think Costa Rica is, if not number one, it's most definitely in the top 3 where people going to retire. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So you can easily, you know what I'm saying, try to stack up your US dollar out here. And you know what I'm saying, even if you don't want to leave the US, still just buy land out there, and people, all the retirees and everybody that's moving out there, rent out your land to them.
Right. So basically,
and that's forever money. You know,
basically like an Airbnb.
Yeah, that's what everybody doing right now.
Property, yeah.
That's what everybody doing right now, man. Like everybody is buying these cribs, buying these condos, buying land, building on the land, and renting it out, or staying there, or, you know what I'm saying, renting out to the people that's native to the place. You know what I'm saying? But that's just money that's gonna be there forever, and it's a great investment, and it's cheap. You know what I'm saying? So like that's one thing I'm trying to teach people as well, because like in the next 5 years, I already see myself investing in Costa Rica and Africa, bro. Like them, like the top 2 places on my list.
Okay. So as far as what Africa, what are you saying over there?
Like just basically what I'm looking at,
like real estate as well.
Yeah, like real estate. a lot of people are like going over to Eastern Africa or whatever, because like what's going on with that is like what historians are saying, like the popular places where people will feel safe are the places that's never been colonized in Africa. So that's only 2 places. Where one of them is not really that safe. That's Liberia, but Ethiopia is one of those places that's safe. They never been colonized. They don't have no European country or no fractions over there that's overlooking the place right now. So they've been independent, and they never been colonized. And the U.S. dollar is also powerful out there. And when you look up Ethiopia or even places that's independent now, like Kenya or take it west, Nigeria, Senegal, these places are beautiful. Like they put that that image in your head to make it seem like, you know what I'm saying, they really impoverished, or they use that term we was talking about earlier, that third world country. It's dangerous because they make you think like it's a less developed country, but sometimes that third world term, that doesn't mean less developed. It just means something else. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, let's talk about that, because you educated me, because when I heard the word third world, I automatically thought, okay, this is an impoverished place, but you gave me the facts behind that. So let's share that with the audience.
Yeah, so like in the 50s, it was basically after the Cold War, they was basically just trying to break down all the countries. So the first world is America and its allies. So first world countries, second world country, third world countries. So first world meant America and its allies. Second world meant America's enemies, and third world meant everyone that's not associated with the first world and the second world. So as time went on, they tried to implement third world countries as being poor or not being, or being less developed, but and they kind of they put that name or that stigma on these type of places, especially in Africa. I feel like especially in America, because they don't want us to go back, especially African Americans. So they just put that negative stigma on Africa. But a lot of African places are actually rich. You know what I'm saying? If you really look the backdrop, Nigeria is extremely rich. I think they top 10 in the GDP right now. If not top 10, they top 15. And then, you know what I'm saying, when you do your research, you will see like places like China. China is considered a third world country because they really don't pick side. They haven't picked a side with America, or they haven't picked a side with Russia or North Korea when it comes to America's and its enemies. But they are number 1 right now. Or if not number 1, they number 2 in GDP. So they've been top 2 for over hundreds of years. Okay. So you know what I'm saying? So like they just try to play with you, and they will never say like, oh, well, China's a third world country. They will never tell you that because they don't want you to really know the truth.
Now, some of those countries, whether they're third world or even second world or first world, there's some places I can't go because I have a felony.
Exactly.
And there's certain crimes that they allow to end, and others they won't, as it relates to a felony, correct?
Exactly.
Like for instance, let's talk about Japan for a second. I've always wanted to go to Tokyo, but because of my drug felony,
right,
I'm unable to go there, right?
Yeah, so right, Japan is one of those countries where so they're receptive to majority of all felonies except drug related felonies, which is ironic because they love opioids out there. So I guess it's related to that. Maybe they don't want America to come over there and try to mess with the opioids. I don't know, but that's one thing they don't want you to have on your record if you're a felon is any drug related charges. Okay. So if you go to the us.state.gov and try to apply for your visa, this is a place where you need a visa to come to. So if you try to go get your visa or whatever, they 9 times out of 10 they're going to put a halt on your visa and stop your visa process if you have a drug charge, a drug felony charge.
Okay. I also heard that Australia was like that too.
Yeah, so now Australia is not drugs, it's something else. I forgot what actually it is, but it's not drugs though. So I don't know if it's violent crime or something like that. It's something around that premise, but it's one, like all of the countries that we was talking about earlier, it's like 1 or 2 charges that you can't have. But I know for a fact Australia is not drug though.
Okay.
And
what about Canada?
Canada, same thing. It's one thing. I just don't know what it is. Probably violent as well, violent felony crime. So yeah, Canada it's only one charge that you can't have, or one particular type of charge that you can't have to go to Canada. So all these places where you need, like, you know what I'm saying, little visas or whatever, they won't let you go if you apply for them and you have that type of charge on your record. Yeah, they won't let you in.
Okay, all right, but most countries in the Caribbean or like South America, they're okay with us being over there.
Yeah, so like those type of countries, they're really close to the U.S. They trade with the U.S. Some of the GDPs, is where it's at because of these countries. So they have a great relationship with the U.S. So that's why they're able to grant us to come in just with a passport, and they don't really care if we got felonies on our record or not. Those type of countries. I think Brazil just lifted their visa program as well, so you don't have to have a visa to go to Brazil anymore either. Because I know we trying to lift our trades with Brazil as well. I think we opening up Chevys and stuff out there, Chevy factories and all that type of stuff. So like when U.S. does foreign policy deals like that, the countries become more lenient when it comes to travel and stuff like that.
I never looked at it like that. So
yeah, that's basically the relationship. Business. Yeah, that's all it is. This world ain't nothing about money. It's war, all that stuff is nothing but money. That's what I'm saying. Like we gotta just basically learn it, see what our country is really about, and use it to our advantage. That's the only way we can really win. You know what I'm saying? So
with the dollar, basically the dollar being strong in some of these places, it's an advantage.
Yeah.
For us. Whether we're purchasing real estate or even what about everyday products, right?
Yeah.
You go over there. Have you noticed? Because you travel pretty often.
And I like that you brought that up because a lot of people don't know. Like when you go like to Germany, people be like, you know what I'm saying? You can get a BMW or a Mercedes. I believe so. Don't quote me, but between like 30,000-40,000 US, like opposed to the US is 50, 60, 70,000 in that range. But the reason why it's so much more when it comes here is because of the tariff tax. You know what I'm saying? The tariff taxes, how much it costs to get it across those borders, across those seas, that's what they charge you on. You know what I'm saying? So when if you was to move to Germany, a BMW wouldn't be $50,000, $60,000. You know what I'm saying? You'll be paying about roughly 20, 30, 40,000 for a BMW or Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? But if you try to bring your car back over to the States, that it's gonna be a 25,000, 20,000 tariff tax.
Basically, an importation tax.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So those are the type of things like they try to finesse you on too. Like it's all about politics. Like you said, it's all about the dollar. Like that's another thing on why, you know what I'm saying, how globalization works and how things are being priced and why things are priced a certain way they are. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with our cars. Like a Chevy, they feel like how we look at foreigns, like, oh man, BMW is foreign. A Chevy is like that in other places. You know what I'm saying? A Chevy is $60,000, $70,000 in other places. You know what I'm saying? Because of the tariff tax, how much it costs to get it imported over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. And they look at it like, oh man, it's different. Chevy, Lincoln, you know what I'm saying? The same thing. So that's exactly how they look at it.
So as being a black man going over to some of these countries in South America and things of that nature, how were you received?
Man, positive. Almost everywhere I went. Only place where I say, and it wasn't even like nothing negative. It's just like they just really hungry. They want that American dollar so bad because they know how powerful it is and what they can do with it is Jamaica. So when I went to Montego Bay and then I went over to Negril, they was just like, man, they shysters. They want that US dollar, so they do anything for it. So like they own you. It'd be about 4, 5, 6, 7 guys around you, surrounding you, trying to get that US dollar, trying to sell you something, trying to beg for it. You know what I'm saying? So they know how powerful that US dollar is. They don't even want their money in Jamaica. So like that's one place where I was just like, it's not negative. They love us. Like, man, they love us. It's just like, but that was one of the places I felt like, man, like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? Back off, you know what I'm saying? Right. But it was cool, though. It was still all love, though. I haven't felt no type of malice, no type of negativity, nowhere I went so far. Because they know, like, they receptive because they know in all actuality and all, you know what I'm saying, factual standpoints, we are really the same people. Right. You know what I'm saying? They know that, like, even in these places like, you know, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Central, South America, basically they ain't not nothing but Spanish people, black people, and Native Americans mixed. You know what I'm saying?
You feel like traveling give you like a sense of freedom?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You just got back last night?
Yeah, just got back
right?
this morning. Yep, just got back 5, 6 this morning.
Okay, where'd you go to?
I went to Cancun. So I went to Mexico City first and then had a layover in Mexico City. Then I went over to Cancun, man. It was beautiful, like, man.
I didn't realize that Mexico City has the largest population of people in a city.
I
That's
did
the
not
largest
know
city
that.
by population in the world.
Did not know
I think
that.
it's like 20 million people in that city.
Man, I did
Now
not
New
know
York
that.
has 8.
Right.
Chicago
So this,
somewhere around 3. So it's basically 7 times as many people in Mexico City than it is in Chicago.
and it's crazy you say that because I didn't even seen that. I didn't even seen that
It wasn't
that
packed
crowd.
there, no.
No, but maybe because I went at night though, and I left in the morning. I left like around like 6, 7 in the morning.
Okay.
I flew in like at 7 at night, and then I flew out like at 6, 7. So I was on like a 12-hour day,
Okay.
12-hour stay. But man, no, I ain't even seem like it was that crowded though. But the culture is rich though. When you walk around, you can tell like man, like they really embedded in that culture. You know, so that's one thing that I noticed about Mexico City.
Okay.
Cancun kind of like a little bit more touristy, but Mexico City, Mexico City, they
You
embedded.
getting the raw, culture.
Yeah, you getting the real culture. You getting the real foods and how they eat and what's going down, how they party, how they club, and all that. I got a chance to see all that.
Okay, that's cool, man. It sounds like you really living your life, man.
Yeah,
Traveling
trying
all around
to.
the world, and
Yeah.
So what's next for you? What destination you got next?
The next major destination is I'm trying to still decide, but I know for my birthday I'm really trying to my first time trying to go to Africa, so I'm trying to go to Cape Verde, the African islands. It's right off the coast of
East Africa as well?
That's West Africa, right off the coast of West Africa. So like it's basically the African islands or whatever. I think it's called Sal Cape Verde. So yeah, I'm gonna try to visit that for my birthday.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people don't even know Africa got islands. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna try to showcase that. And at the same time catch some vibes or whatever. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that Fab video, that Choosy with Jeremiah, that video was shot in Cape Verde.
Okay. So are you finding pretty good flight tips or any kind of deals?
Yeah. Secret Flying on Twitter. So you gotta go on Twitter.
Okay.
And you gotta follow them. That's called Secret Flying. So basically what I do, I get all the notifications to my phone, and they show me everywhere that's the flights that's being on sale. So like, man, this is like how y'all get y'all traveling game up, because like they'll have something like Chicago to Barcelona, or Chicago to Amsterdam, and the flight be like $200-$300. You know what I'm saying? And this be round trip.
Wow.
So basically what I do, I will buy a flight on there and then go back to my Expedia, which is the middleman. You let those points stack up, and you know what I'm saying, you come out the gate for somewhere like what I just did, Mexico. I saw a trip from Chicago to Mexico for $97 round trip.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
$97?
Yeah, it's at $97 round trip, and from Secret Flying. So, like I said, you play with the days. I like to travel on Saturdays because it's always cheaper to fly out on Saturdays and come back like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay. And I got the hotel on Expedia, got the rental with those points. I came out the gate only spending like $300 for my whole flight and hotel. So like that's just ways that you can really travel and really get out here and explore the world. And the whole for little to no money.
And as far as with the hotel, are they like 3-star hotel? Or are you talking about a roach
So
hotel?
what I like to do is I like to do vacation rentals. So these people that post on Airbnb, they also post on Travelocity, Expedia, those places as well. Okay. They post on those places as well. So like and it's way easy to get on Expedia than it is Airbnb, because Airbnb has a lot of like contingencies and stuff that they don't promote. We don't want you to do this, we don't want you to do that, you got to be this age and all that little stuff. And they can also deny you when you put all your information in. That's why I don't really like Airbnb, because they can say yay or nay based off your picture and based off your information that you provide. Okay. But Expedia can't say no. You know what I'm saying? These be the same houses that they put on Airbnb.
Wow.
So I like to go through Expedia and all those other middleman entities or whatever. And I could look, and as you basically just click on vacation rental as opposed to hotels, and you get nice condos, nice homes in these different countries or different places in within the states, and you just you let up you stay for like $100 for 3-4 days, $150, especially if it's like a cheap country like Mexico or El Salvador or whatever. If you go somewhere like in Europe or You know what I'm saying? Africa or Australia, of course, it's gonna be like a little more. But my whole thing is I'm not trying to spend no more than $2,500 on the trip.
And then also at the same time though, when you traveling, you're not spending a lot of your time in a hotel.
No,
like
of course
you
not.
Actually out in the streets, right? You want to be able to immerse yourself in that culture.
Exactly. Like, and a lot of things which I do despise, man. Like, cause I've experienced it. A lot of people, like, when they travel, they love all inclusive. So basically, when you doing the all inclusive, like, people don't know America for the most part, especially when we talking to like the Mexicos or the Caribbeans and all that. These are American people that's owning these things. So basically, you're not really experiencing the culture. And you know what I'm saying? People like, well, they provide drinks, so you know what I'm saying? You paying $15,000, $2,000. It's not even including the flight. You spending $1,500, $2,000 just on the inclusive resort alone.
Right. So you know basically, stay away from all.
I mean, if that's in my opinion, but if you enjoy that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying, and you want that, you know what I'm saying, you like the pools and you like it being off the beach and all that, then that's cool. But like majority of these condos and stuff right off the beach too.
Okay. You know
what I'm saying? So you can get it for not even a fourth of the price and still have the same amount of fun. You know what I'm saying? And some of these condos and stuff, they come with pools as well. Like the condo I was just in Mexico, they had a nice pool upstairs, and then right across the street is the beach. Okay. So you know what I'm saying, it's still the same type of experience for way cheaper. So
So what's next for you, man?
So yeah, for my birthday, I know for certainly I'm trying to go to Africa. I'm trying to go to Cape Verde. That's the African islands. Trying to experience that. For people that don't know what Cape Verde is, if you look up that new Fabulous video with Jeremiah, that Choosy video, they was in Cape Verde or whatever. So you could just get a glimpse and see how, you know what I'm saying, how it look, or just look it up. Because you know, a lot of people don't even know that Africa has islands and stuff like that. So that's my next big trip that I'm trying to take.
All right, cool. And so as far as merchandise and things of that nature, you pushing some of that as well, right?
Yeah, trying to get the merch out. Got a show, WERELDKULTUUR blend. Trying to get that out. That's gonna be a show. Trying to promote healthy eating, healthy lifestyles. I'm gonna try to have certain guests on, people that's trying to promote healthy eating or promoting healthy lifestyle, or different entrepreneurs, or just people that's interested in just doing things, promoting positivity throughout. So we basically gonna blend the conversation and blend with fruit smoothies, organic fruit smoothies and all that. So man, just different avenues that I'm trying to take and promote my brand. You know what I'm saying? WERELDKULTUUR.
Okay, cool. So speaking of promoting your brand, what's that YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter? Give me all of it.
Yeah, man. So the vlog on YouTube, you got to type it in. It's WERELDKULTUUR. Space vlog. WERELDKULTUUR vlog on YouTube. It's gonna pop right up, man. Like, subscribe, man. Keep subscribing, man. Comment, and then the snap is World Traveler. Snap and Instagram is World Traveler _JMac, and then the Facebook is John McAfee. McAfee is spelled MCAFEE. So man, just like, man, keep subscribing, support. On all those avenues I just gave you, you will see my videos being posted. And stuff, the videos that you will see is like El Salvador, Starve Rock, Miami. You got Cancun coming soon, Las Vegas coming soon. A lot of trips, Costa Rica, Jamaica, all that is coming soon. So we're just gonna keep it pushing, keep it rocking, man.
Okay, man. Thank you for coming through, man. We definitely appreciate you, man. Escaping the odds, we like to unlock the freedom. So you definitely doing that with your travels and giving up good tips and things of that nature, man.
No
so continue to keep doing what you're doing, man. Travel the world, man. Expose other people in our culture to different cultures. And I think that's important for us to be able to actually leave some of us the inner cities of America, man. That's where we both come from, and definitely grateful that you on this journey, man. So we appreciate it, man. And anytime, slide back through, man. Any more hot tips you got for us, man?
I got you.
Yeah, definitely. We all about that, man. So thank you all for tuning in to Escaping the Odds. Another dope episode, man, with a dope brother, WERELDKULTUUR. Y'all watch him, subscribe, like, comment. Y'all do the same for Escaping the Odds podcast. I'm on IG, Facebook, and escapingtheodds.com is coming soon. So y'all be tuned with that. Thank you all. Take care. Peace.